This is 6.3, and this is the section on counting. Well, it says intro to probability, but really it's like counting techniques with probability. Generally, for this chapter, the equation that you're going to use is this. And you're also going to apply some of the counting techniques that you've learned previously. So let's look at this question, and you'll see what I mean when we discuss this question. This question just says, a fruit basket contains 5 red apples and 3 green apples. Without looking, you randomly select 2 apples. What is the probability that you will select 2 red apples and you will not select 2 green apples? So really, for questions in this section, you're going to be looking for 2 numbers. First, you're going to be looking for the total number of outcomes, and then you're going to be looking for the number of outcomes where your event can occur. And in this case, our event is selecting 2 red apples. So let's do first the total number of outcomes. This is a little bit easier to do, and because there's no restriction. You basically pretend that you don't care about this, and you're just picking 2 apples from 5 red apples and 3 green apples. So with this being said, we're really just doing 8 choose 2, or 8C2, because we are looking for, so we have 8 objects, and we're just picking 2 out of them, or choosing 2 out of them. And we know to use combinations because order doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we picked a red apple first and a green apple, or a green apple first and a red apple. Order just doesn't matter in this case. We just want to pick any 2 apples. So that's going to be our total number of outcomes, 8 choose 2, or 8C2. And this is going to equal 8 factorial, 2 factorial, 6 factorial. And this will simplify to 8 times 7 divided by 2, so 28. So 28 is going to be our denominator. And then now we have to think of what is the probability, or how many ways are there of selecting 2 red apples, and then how many ways are there of not selecting 2 green apples. Okay, so let's tackle the red ones first. We need to select 2 red apples. Again, we're going to use combinations because we don't care about the order. We have 5 red apples to choose from, and we're going to choose 2 of them. So that looks like 5C2 to me. And 5C2 is going to be 10. By the way, I don't have a calculator, so if I'm doing the calculations manually like this, then that's why I don't have a calculator with me. And this will just simplify to 5 over 14, which is what the answer is, 5 over 14. All right, so that's A. For B, we're looking for the probability that you will not select 2 green apples. So here we're going to use our trick of the probability of our event, in this case, not selecting 2 green apples. This is going to be equal to 1 minus the probability of the complement. The complement in this case is going to be select 2 green apples. The reason why we want to do this is because if we are considering not selecting 2 green apples, then we need to consider a few cases. 1, you select a red apple and a green apple, and then 2, you select 2 red apples. Generally, you don't want to do that when you can save yourself some trouble and just consider 1 case, which is select 2 green apples. So we're going to just use the complement trick. You don't have to do it this way. You can consider those 2 cases that I just mentioned. I don't recommend it because why make it more troublesome when you already have this? And yes, I know we already found the probability for selecting 2 red apples. Whatever. I just typically you won't always get this lucky, where part A, what you found in A, works for B, or is relevant for B. Typically, you won't always be that lucky, so that's why I'd recommend this technique. Anyway, we just need to find the probability of selecting 2 green apples. This is going to be very similar to selecting 5 red apples. Again, our denominator is going to be 28. Our numerator, however, we are choosing 2 green apples out of 3 green apples. So this gives us 1 minus 3 over 28. And that's going to be 25 over 28. That is our answer for B. And that's our answer for A. And these match what the answer key gives us. So that's how you do 3 for 6.3.